So I think we've made it through the mess, and we'll be just about ready to start up this new season. In terms of trades or whatever, let's talk about it one more time. So at catcher, we have Herrera and Kaiser. We're going to hold on to Herrera. He's got a year left on his deal. Still has a hell of a lot of contact. We're not desperate to clear out the cap space. I'm also not desperate for prospects by flipping him, right? Like, let's just keep him, see what he can do. First base, moved over Chester Jacobson. That way we can kind of justify keeping him. He'll probably play first with Chunky at DH. And then obviously in the system, we got like Cade Portillo, who's still looking, or Carlo Portillo, excuse me, who's still looking really good. Second base is going to be Forrest Fleming and James Tulibitz. Gonna hold on to Tulibitz as well. Very easy to flip him. But you know what? Screw it. We're trying to win. Let's keep really good depth if we can. And obviously, we still got some veterans that need to go through waivers. Third base, the weakest in terms of rating, but it's Karnitz and Hawley. Both solid defensively, both leave a little bit to be desired at the plate, but I think, again, with the rest of this team, if third base sinks us, then whatever, man. Like, it's the fault of the rest of the team. Shortstop, Rodriguez. Jackson Merrill's sticking around as well to compete with him at shortstop. Again, why trade Merrill for prospects? We're trying to win. If something happens to Rodriguez, I don't want to have to rely on Brian Acuna, who cannot really hit a baseball all that well. Left field, Dwight Simons. Again, he is a 98 overall shortstop and a 97 overall third baseman, but we're going to keep him in left. Still some prospects behind him. Center field, I didn't really worry about having too many natural center fielders. It is what it is. But Jackson Holliday's still there after winning the Gold Glove last year. And then Alexis Alonso in right. Holding on to Jeff Allman as a depth option. Why not? Let's keep that depth intact. The final thing that we do have to sort is the pitching staff. And we kind of saved this for last because I feel like this is where we are most likely to see some changes. Like, if any trades are going to be made, it's going to be from right here. Jarvis Ramirez and Shannon Blanton, they're both ready to go, but they're also only see potential. We could easily flip them for other prospects, but at this point, whatever. Let's just hold on to them. There's actually quite a few guys like that. I mean, you can see I put players that are at least a 70 in AAA. The amount of freaking relievers, man. Both closers and outright relievers that we have. It's ridiculous, frankly. Yeah, Mitch Laird, you're not going to be ready to make it yet, nor is Mike Roth. I don't know if any of these guys are going to have to go through waivers to try to keep them, but yeah, I mean, just the amount of talent that we have available here is ridiculous. And that extends to starters as well, where Robert Davies is ready to go. He is ready to go. Oh, what are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? I want to look at all these guys for triple. I said I didn't want to have to make too many trades, but honestly, we might have to. There's just so many people in the mix. So I'm not worried about Fritz. Willie Flores is technically good to go. Can you edit player names on this? You can, yes. Of course, we have Choo Choo. I can't justify keeping him on the Major League roster. Hopefully, we won't lose him through waivers. And then I got to get rid of one more guy off of the 40-man. Tired and can't read. Help. Don't read. Listen. There you go. That's your wisdom of the day. All right. Well, we'll have to see if Choo Choo makes it through waivers. Let me see if old Choo Choo makes it through waivers first. That'll make it a little bit easier. A little bit. Sweet. Choo Choo makes it through waivers. So we should be able to take him off of the 40-man without him getting claimed. And let's see, Robert Davies, we want to potentially look at you as well. We might have to make moves. There are 32 players capable of being on this Major League roster. And most of the leftovers are from pitchers. Which is kind of nuts. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. God, what are we going to do? Oh, what are we going to do? Certain guys do deserve to be starters and might develop better if they're actually in the majors as opposed to still being down in AAA. Willie Flores. I like this guy because of the velocity, but we still know hits and Ks per 9. It rules all. It literally does not matter what your velocity is. And the example of that is Ken Copeland, who has consistently won Cy Youngs. He has 4 in a row because his K per 9's at a 98, despite the fact that his velocity and break isn't that good. So velocity, break, it only means so much. So you look at somebody like Willie Flores, who is promising, has that velocity. He is just not going to sim well at all. Robert Davies. It's tough because he's an A potential, so I don't want to get rid of him. Arturo, similar. Like he's not bad, but he could go. So could Wes Jordan for that matter. Okay, Steven Dixon's a beast, at the very least. He's a beast. We'll keep him in mind. Pedro Cairo, really good at not allowing hits, so he's staying as well. Bill Ullman, in theory, should be okay. In theory. Bob Henley and Roki Sasaki. So, I mean, Sasaki, Henley, Ullman, and Cairo as the starters. Probably keep 2 of these guys on as relievers. All 3 of them are right. Well, we had Flores, Jordan. Davies was the interesting one at an A potential, so he probably stays. So one of the 3, all of them are righties. So between Flores, Arturo, and Jordan, 2 out of 3 are going. 2 out of 3 are going. It's like a Flores again. Tremendous stamina, has the velocity, just the hits and the Ks are rough. There's Arturo. Has the velocity, hits and the Ks again are about average. What was it for Flores? Below average. Doesn't quite have the same stamina. And then there's Jordan. I think it's going to be Flores that we keep. I think Jordan and Arturo are the ones that are going to head out of here. We'll stick with Flores. Maybe 93, 94. It's a tough call. Arturo's really not that bad. Yeah. Flores and Jordan. Let's see what we can get for you two. Let's see. We just don't have enough space for all these guys. Star, that's asking a lot of the chat, by the way. That amount of creativity. A risky idea. It's risky. All right. Well, we're on the hunt for A prospects first and foremost because while B prospects are still decent in terms of player regression and such, A still rules all. Rules A, you could even say. 21A and a 63 for Kavanaugh and the Angels. It's a lot of good B potential guys up for grabs. 24A and a 70 for Jack Kramer. 21A and a 66, David Sanchez on the Nationals. 21A and a 66. 19A and a 60 from the Cubs. Pretty good. Yeah, we're going with Chicago. So it's Jason O'Reilly at shortstop, which honestly, I'd probably put him at corner outfield. Then there's Darren Rodriguez, who's already at corner outfield. He cannot throw a baseball. So, that's tough. That's tough. And then Steve Rivera as a reliever. He's fine. Done deal. Make a deal with the devil. Make a damn deal with the devil. So, Mr. O'Reilly. Let's make you a corner outfielder here. And then Rodriguez. Oh, I mean, we can still train it up, but it's bad. He's going to first base. He is going to first base. Focus on that hitting more because you are never going to be an elite fielder. So that means we can drop McDaniel down to single. Sanchez go be the AAA backup. Rodriguez will be the AA backup. And then for O'Reilly, probably consider him for AA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop Henry Perez down to single. There we go. So back to the starters. Sasaki, Henley, Ullman, Cairo, Dixon, Arturo, and Davies. Still got to wait for Choo Choo to go through waivers a second time. Oh, we lost Choo Choo. Claimed on waivers by the Brewers. They didn't claim him the first time, but they did claim him the second time. The heart and soul of the team is gone. No more Choo Choo. You hate to see it. Let's see. Kenzie Nathan we can drop down. Darren Drake we can drop down. Oh, shit. Drop down Oliva. I still got to find one more player to drop. I think it does have to be an extra starter or the extra infielder, outfielder. Fuck. You know what, Robert Davies? Let's try to over-ripen here. Drop you down to triple. All right, so from there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, Iglesias, you're going down. Randy Rubel, Sean Newcomb, and Felipe Fernandez. And the rest of it's pretty much just AA and AAA pitching options. Ew, we randomly had Steve Rivera still in triple too. That guy's fucking terrible. All right, so anybody at a 70, they can progress past an 80 in AAA. It's true. But again, I normally like to have people in the majors for that little bit more reliable development, at least in my experiences. Was it a 73? 72. All right, so anybody at a 72, you're also going down to AA. And we have 73 Mike Roth at 24. Yeah, Mike Roth, you're going down, buddy. And we just got to send down the extras from double. Pretty much anybody sub 70 is going down to single A, which is kind of nuts, but that's where we're at right now in terms of the bullpen depth. We'll send down Navarro as well. 26 across the board. I think we're good. So the rotation is Sasaki, Ullman, Henley, Dixon, and Cairo with Arturo as the long reliever. Bullpen is Dougie Guerrero, Jason Hooper, Dan Montez, Josh Swanger, Henry Silva, and Chris Karowski. An ungodly bullpen. An ungodly rotation, really. And the lineup, primarily, it's Alonso, Holiday, Simons, Harris, Herrera, Merrill, Ullman, Fleming, and Karnitz. Okay. Again, the bench depth is pretty damn good, especially Rodriguez isn't even playing against righties. And then lefties, Alonso, Holiday, Simons, Harris, Herrera, Jacobson, Fleming, Rodriguez, and Karnitz. This is stronger than last year's team that won 105 games. Because, again, we spent all the money on Dwight Simons. All of the money. What is our budget right now? $8 million available. The CPT threshold is $244 million. Oops. But, yeah. We're going all in again. And in terms of top prospects, we got the number 3, the number 5, and the number 6, as well as the number 10, the number 11, 18. I mean, a significant amount of prospects just in the top 25 alone. First in pitching and speed, second in contact and power, fourth in defense. This team needs to be able to win something. Again, we were 1 win away from making it to the World Series last year. I honestly don't know how I even want to set up the scouts right now, really. We just need the best players available, really. So we're just going to do generic position scouting again. Yeah, honestly. So we'll do 2 starting pitchers in the West. And we'll do 1 in the Central. And try to just cover everything by the end of it. But again, the draft is like totally in a secondary position now in terms of our focus. Like at best, it is all about simulating through the season, getting to the playoffs, and winning the damn World Series. That is where we're at. Don't know if we'll win 105 games again, especially when we're 2 games under 500 somehow to start the year. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. 500 through our first 28 games. Not amazing. Not amazing. Damn. Yeah, honestly, I don't know how much time we'll have to pull this off. I'm not worried about relievers. You can pretty much rely upon them being half decent. Plus, we just don't need relievers. 18 and 16. Not too bad. We did have a somewhat slow start last year. So it's not a complete disaster yet. Not yet. Honestly, for here, let's start doing a setup like that. But obviously, there's a hell of a lot of pitchers, so we wanted to focus quite a bit of time on that. 22 and 18, game back of the Reds. Still a long way to go. Long way to go. Just try to find as many infielders as we can. See if our scouts want to help us at all this year. They've had some up and down seasons. We're into a tie for the division lead, which is nice. If we can do anything with it. And we'll go second base Central. We'll do that. Just never enough time, never enough scouts when you don't need anything in particular. As we have a lovely undefeated week. 7 wins, now up to 34 and 19. That's fantastic. And let's go third base West here. There we go. Okay, thought I made a mistake there, but we were good. Winning streak continues. Back-to-back undefeated weeks. It's nearly been 3 straight undefeated weeks up to 40-19. The team has very much found its groove, and none of it matters unless we win in the playoffs. None of it. The entire territory. 44-21. Start looking at shortstops here. See what else we can find. Just crushing it. I mean, whoops. Well, I hit the wrong button accidentally. Well, scouting's going to be a little bit fucked up now. It was the wrong time for a finger slip there. Oh, well. We'll look at shortstop international, and then we'll just start looking at some of the top prospects. Particularly those who... you know what? Nah, screw it. Scout position. Left field west. We might have enough time to still do this. It's going to be close. Just got to win in the playoffs once we get there. And we're going to get there. 60-24. We might be pushing for records here. We might be pushing for records. We had a really rough series. What was the signing motivation on the scouting screen in previous years? Similar as far as I know. Similar as far as I know. Yeah, we're going to miss out on scouting right fielders because of that that finger slip. That's unfortunate. Honestly, let's go center field international, right field international. And do we have anybody? This guy, Kurt Hidalgo. Our scouts seem to think he could be a steal. We'll look at him. We'll look at him. So the 2034 draft. No trade offers, Arizona. Kyle Harrison on the move. Off to the Astros for a couple of young players and Austin Martin. Probably not the worst deal, actually. Let's get to it. Again, the draft was a big part of our year-to-year focus. It's not the case anymore. We care about World Series and World Series only. We have the 27th overall pick in this draft. And, of course, we gave up some compensation for the Mets signing as Darryl Overstreet. Starting pitcher is the first overall pick going to San Francisco. It's a hell of a quote out of Keefe. Oof. That is. Derek Barr is on his way to the Mets. They hope that they just got their next ace in the future. And the third overall pick is Victor Arnez, a third baseman for the Padres. And, of course, we'll find out how good some of these guys are down the road. But for now, 27th pick. Let's, there's another Guerrero. Let's take a look at how good some of these guys are. I mean, honestly, now is a fine time for me to just go through and, again, anybody with a high end of at least a 90, we're going to put on the list and see who we can get. We're not going to go down the entire list right now. Actually, I don't know how many spots we have. Let's end it right there. All right. So top player left, according to our scouts, is Joel Sanchez. 77% scouted. I mean, the hits and Ks per 9 look fucking terrible. He might have a good potential, but he looks awful. Frank Guerrero, on the other hand, looks outstanding. He looks outstanding. And then Davis Winters is all fielding. He's not the worst. Yeah, he's actually not the worst at the plate. Not the worst. Switch hitter as well. Winters isn't too bad. Robert Morris, good contact hitter, potentially an elite outfielder. 10% scouted. Winters was 35. David Chavis, we won't take a reliever this early, although I'm sure he's outstanding, and he looks it too. Well, ideally, we need a position player more than a pitcher, so We're either going to take the risk on Winters or Morris. Honestly, I think it's going to be Winters. He's more scouted. He's younger. Let's just go for Davis Winters. That's where we are in the draft right now, throwing darts at the board this late in the first. And just hope Elmo Harley. As Boston drafts Mario Ramirez, by the way. Yeah, just throwing darts at the board. We actually do have the 37th pick, a competitive balance pick. Again, there are more pitchers. There's also this first baseman, Willie Lunam, who, if that's accurate, could be outstanding. There's also Emmett Chin as a catcher. Solid hitter, potentially a great fielder. Switch hitter as well. Or Tom Crum. So for me, I think it's between Willie Lunam and Emmett Chin. Emmett's only 18, like he has time to develop. He's a switch hitter. He's a really good fielder. Yeah, I think it's got to be Lunam. Let's go for Willie Lunam. Look at the hair. You got to go for Willie Lunam in that instance. Next pick is pick number 104 in the third round. There is still a pitcher left in Jimenez. But yeah, now I have less time to add people to the board and to go for said best guess selection. So let's see. We're still primarily looking for position players. Jason Martin, Joel Boone, Lee Daniels, apparently a really good fielder. He's also 23. Jackie Sciambi. Thomas Brantley, we don't know a ton about. Arlo Gehringer. Michael Cordova, it is just best guess now, isn't it? Daniel Hinojosa as a reliever could be insane. Put him at the top really quickly. Then there's also Brian Terrell. We're going for Hinojosa. That's fine. Guess we'll take a reliever after all. None of those position players look good. Yeah, Jimenez is still there. Nothing crazy. Oliver Tucker. Let's see who else we can get here. Who else can we get here? Again, we didn't have that typical second-round pick or later second-round pick. Be able to do any scouting ahead. Stanley Suzuki looks terrible. Jeff McDonald looks terrible. Clifford Hernandez looks terrible. Boone Adams. Apparently a good contact hitter, and what a beard. We don't go for him. We're looking at Jimenez, who looks like he's going to be terrible. Oh, let's go for Oliver Tucker. Why not? Go for another reliever. Old Tucker. Can't go wrong with relievers. Jimenez is still there because he wasn't projected to be drafted. So we're going to take him now in the 5th round. And then 6th round. Do we have anybody with the high end of 90 left? No, we do not. So we either have Ramon Campos, Marshall Newcomb, Daniel Domingo. It's one of the 3. Domingo at 2nd, Marshall Newcomb. Come on down, Marshall Newcomb. Take another reliever. When in doubt, take a reliever. That's the way to do it. As we have a participant in the Home Run Derby. We have multiple participants in the Home Run Derby. Dwight Simons and Alexis Alonso. 2 of the top home run hitters in the league this season. That's beautiful. And then what about our all-star representatives this year? We want to take a look at that. Bill Ullman makes it as the number 2 starter. Dan Montez and Josh Swanger are both in as relievers. Jackson Holiday. Oh, dude, it's our outfield. Holiday, Simons, Alonso, Chunky Harris. All 3 outfielders and our first baseman. All-star starters. Like, this has to be the year, right? This has to be the year. Our outfield collectively starts for the National League All-Stars. That's insane. 69-28 as of the break. As Kevin Kaiser's hitting wow, Herrera's plummeted. Kaiser's hitting 234. Herrera's still hitting 287. Could we look for an increase at catcher? Absolutely. But Herrera is still hitting the ball relatively well. We might want to shore up our chances. Kaiser's a great defensive catcher, except for the accuracy. And Angelo Bonilla. Bonilla's not bad. Honestly, it sucks, but we probably do need a safety net at catcher. You know? We probably do. We probably do. We'll have to take a look around the league. Angelo Bonilla is ready to go, too, at a major league level. Chunky Harris. 16 home runs, 62 RBIs, and 857 OPS. 37 walks to 47 Ks. Not bad. Jacobson only hitting 208 as a backup. That is what it is. Second base, Fleming, up to a 249. He's now an 87 overall. Tulibet's hitting 225 when he gets the chance. Beckett Whiteley is about ready to go. Carnitz out for 1 to 2 months. Was hitting 218. Hawley, that Carnitz injury just happened too. So John Hawley's going to be in as the starter there. A little bit shaky. Rodriguez hitting 278. Jackson Merrill is cooked. Absolutely cooked. I might regret not trying to trade him sooner. But he is hitting 306 this year. So hell with what the overall says. It's all about performance. He's doing well at the plate. Dwight Simons, 26 home runs, 88 RBIs, a 1.055 OPS at the All-Star break. Unbelievable. Jackson Holiday, 15 home runs, 45 RBIs, and 880 OPS. And then Alexis Alonso, 23 home runs, 58 RBIs, and 891 OPS. And again, we still got like Jeff Allman there playing DH on occasion. Starting pitchers, Ullman at a 2.69 ERA. Henley at a 3.78. Sasaki's at a 3.02. He's also plummeting. But he is playing well. Everyone except Pablo Arturo's playing pretty well. And for the bullpen, Henry Silva's ERA is a little bit high, but the whip is still great. The biggest concern is that Herrera's down to a 74 at catcher. That is the biggest concern, easily. As well as we're having guys like Sasaki and Jackson Merrill that are declining quickly. Like, trading these guys hurts the depth, certainly. But it's $93 million worth of salary. If I were to say we wanted to trade this for prospects, we could too. The Yankees offering 3 B players. The Tigers offering a potential center fielder, Morgan Bragg. Astros offering Tommy Bliss and 2 Bs. Which is a pretty good deal. Antonio Davia, 21A and a 70. 20A and a 70. 1 for Torres. I mean, no doubt the best overall deal is the Astros. Bliss, Franco, and Kretlow. They take on $93 million worth of salary. Herrera and Merrill look cooked. Sasaki still has a year left at $49 million, and he's declining quickly. There is also the train of thought of don't fix what isn't broken, but these guys are declining much faster. Merrill and Sasaki are declining much faster and much more sharply than expected. We don't want to get caught holding the bag here. We're taking that deal with the Astros. I think we need to. So we're going to have Bliss at shortstop. who is, of course, I mean, he's got good arm strength. Potentially going to be looking like a center fielder, or not a center fielder, but a second baseman. I'm cool to leave those guys where they are, and we'll fix them later, actually. That's a done deal. Houston takes on $93 million worth of salary in one shot. So you got Kaiser and Bonilla. Is there a catcher out there on an expiring deal, such as Willie Diaz? He's got a good arm, great contact on an expiring deal. That is a great option from Baltimore, even if he's struggling at the moment. Anybody else way up there for catcher on an expiring deal? Mark Rudy? Jesus Christ. Whew, he is, he's the next Herrera. Except he's a switch hitter. Look at that contact. God damn. I mean, Diaz is a little bit weaker at the plate, but he's a little bit better defensively. But Rudy's a switch hitter, man. That's crazy. That's the guy I want already, if I can get him. If I can, that's the guy. Kevin Plaza and Mitch Laird is the asking price. Plaza is promising, but again, the hits and Ks per nine suck. Laird is going to be a strikeout artist. Whew, Scotty, what's up, dude? God, Laird's the tough one to get rid of. He is going to be a strikeout artist. But the bullpen's already strong enough. We're making that deal with Detroit and bringing in Mark Rudy at catcher. No doubt. Still got Kaiser behind him. And just like that, that issue's solved. Chester Jacobson hasn't quite thrived in that slugging role that we've been hoping for. He's hitting 372. Yes, he is. 372. He also has over a 1.0 OPS. If we don't win the World Series this year, man. Could move on from Jacobson to try to find a better backup, but honestly, it's fine. Shortstop's the big concern because now Acuna is going to be the backup. We did bring in Tommy Bliss, though, which is great. He can go straight to AAA as the starter. Sorry, just double checking where certain outfielders are set up now currently, too. I mean, we got the catcher that we need. Jacobson, Tulibits. I mean, these guys were good for us in the playoffs last year. Karnitz will be fully healthy shortly. We are struggling a bit for our starter at third base, but he is good defensively, so that's kind of the trade-off. You know, we could look for that third base rental, but again, the rest of the team is so strong, we should be fine. Should be fine. Bit disappointed in Arturo's performance so far, to be honest, but we're going to stick with him. One for Fitzgerald. Oswald Oliva is destroying worlds. I'm going to call him up. And bump up Kevin Roach to AAA. We got a couple of weeks before the deadline. We just cleared out an ungodly amount of cap. And this team is still cooking. See what we can do in terms of signing draft picks. We have a lot of work to do for most of these guys. We had a big problem trying to sign people last year. And it looks like the same thing's about to happen. Back-to-back shutouts over Kansas City. Love to see that. It's going to be a bit before we get to where we want to be. Gonna have to splash the cash. Yeah, it's going to be tough to sign these guys. Tough indeed. 78-30 as we get closer to the trade deadline. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Almost got Winters to the point that we can sign him, but we are running out of time. Andrew Painter gets dealt. Brewers give him up for a couple of prospects. I'm not going to heavily inspect the deal because it'll probably just serve to be annoying. Davis Winters declines said initial offer. And most of these guys that we took a swing at, not looking too good. Not looking too good. We'll go for the guys with the two highest potentials. Deadline-wise, I think we're fine. Like, this team is so strong. Let's offer Winters the max deal. All right, well, we didn't even get our first-round pick signed. Davis Winters refuses to come here. That is the negative. Willie Luman, whatever the hell, also rejected. And again, this is the negative when you just try to do general scouting. Like, you really do need to be pretty focused. I don't think we're going to sign a single player out of this class aside from one dude. Yep, we signed one dude. Everybody else said no. Whatever. It's fine by me. We're good regardless. Not too worried about it. The only dude we were able to sign was Geraldo Jimenez, who's fantastic. So what do I care? 93 overall starter at 18 years old. That's a steal and a half. The rest of them, fuck them. Diamondbacks, really, really good player there in Fernando Perez. Kretlow's not bad either. I want to see if there were any generational talents in this draft. Not going to go over everybody. Decent pick there in Arnez. Decent pick in Liriano. Good pick in McDonald. Let's see. Overstreet wasn't bad. Siambi wasn't bad. Shambi, whatever the hell it is. Mario Ramirez for the Red Sox. 71 overall at 18 years old. 98 potential. Really, really good pick for them. Yankees, Oliver Williams. Looking really good. Arlo Gehringer's okay. 18, so he has time to develop. Todd Ramirez, not too bad. No generational talents yet, but certainly some solid players. Yeah, Scott Roman, a 75 overall closer. Not bad. Dino's a decent late pick. Doesn't look like there were any generational players this draft, though. Mark Creech, he's not that great. Can't believe how few prospects we signed. Lewis Chung, decent, 52 at 19. Hernandez is a 50 at 19, so massive projects for Texas. Big-time project for Atlanta with Fuentes. Quite a few teams missed on their first-round pick anyway, so I'm not that upset that we didn't get our guys signed. Mario Mendoza's not bad for Washington. Lee Daniels is old. Brewers got Thomas Valenzuela. That's not bad. They also got Miles Hewitt. That's okay. Yeah, no gigantic generational players or anything like that. But a decent draft for teams to find some players in. As we might just hit... No, man, the Cubs continue to give us issues. We hit 99 wins as of September 1st. So as expected, even better this year than last year. Rudy's still hitting 351. Kaiser's still looking like a good backup. Our call-up options here are Angelo Bonilla at catcher. Jacobson's not doing too well, but we do still want him. We could call up Beckett Whiteley at second base. Arnitz is back in a couple of days. Shortstop, of course, is where we're hurting a bit with Brian Acuna having to be listed on the roster. Simon's hitting 316 already. Over 100 RBI. Yeah, Allman's dropping because he's not too happy. All right, so Bonilla or Whiteley? And in fairness, because of the injury, we can call up Bonilla. And we can call up Beckett Whiteley. And then for pitchers, Dan Montez out for 2 to 3 weeks. So let's look for an extra reliever and an extra starter. So Fitzgerald at a 110 with a sub-2 ERA. Tremendous strikeout to walk ratio for all these guys. And Mike Roth. He's been crushing it. Let's call up Mike Roth. And then for the starters, Davies on a 3-3 and 1-3-2. Herrera looking good. It's going to be Lonnie Herrera. Add him to the 40-man. He gets that extra call-up. No doubt. Sweet. All right. Let's finish up this season. We know it's all about the playoffs. 100 wins. We've already clinched the division. This team is stacked. Like, come on. This team, how could we possibly lose? All right, now we have too many players, but that's fine because we had the people to start the month. So Bonilla goes back to triple. And we have surpassed last year's win total. We'll send Roth back down to AAA. AAA ball club, 10 games over 500, not enough to make the playoffs. AA ball club doesn't make it either. As we have hit 111 wins. Not bad. Not bad. I genuinely thought we might be able to catch the Mariners, but it didn't happen. Second half of the season was a little bit rocky. But 111 and 51. And yeah, we were around 500 in mid-May. You're not wrong. And then we warmed up. So Tampa will play Baltimore. Winner plays Boston. Angels play Mariners. Winner takes on the White Sox. We will play the winner of Chicago and Philadelphia, while San Francisco will play the winner of Miami and Colorado. All right. Let's take a look at how the boys did here. Mark Rudy, the deadline pickup, the switch-hitting catcher, finishes with 20 home runs, 77 RBIs, and a 954 OPS with a 340 batting average. Kevin Kaiser as his backup, a 256 average, a 769 OPS, 7 home runs, 25 RBI. Not bad at all. Chunky Harris at first base, 27 home runs, 100 RBI, and 856 OPS. Still doesn't get any better, though. Chester Jacobson, up to an 81. 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, a 678 OPS. Not amazing. Forrest Fleming is developing at a rapid rate as a power-hitting second baseman. 26 home runs, 75 RBIs, and 810 OPS, easily the best of his career. 992 fielding percentage, a 4.6 WAR. Tulibits as the backup. Good season for him in terms of development as well. 15 home runs, 47 RBIs, and an 831 OPS. So, some arguments, maybe. Carnets at third base dealt with a pretty big injury, but 10 home runs, 35 RBIs, a 689 OPS. But he is a switch hitter. It'll be nice to have that bat in the lineup come playoff time. But Hawley, also a switch hitter, 3 home runs, 17 RBIs, and a 738. So there's an argument between Hawley and Carnets. Omar Rodriguez at shortstop, 15 home runs, 54 RBIs, a 792. Still not amazing despite the overall. We got to see if Acuna is going to be the guy that we have on the roster here. Dwight Simons in left. We backed up the Brinks truck. It fetched us 41 home runs, 118 RBIs, and a career high over 1.0 OPS. Good for 8.4 WAR on the season. Jackson Holiday in center. He's still getting better. So, yeah, some dudes just collapse out of nowhere. Like a certain shortstop we got rid of. 24 home runs, 76 RBIs, a 904 OPS at the plate. And last year's Gold Glove winner and center might not win it this time. Was Merrill an A or a B? I think he was a B. So, dude, yeah. So, from the looks of it, then, it's the B potentials that you have to be uber concerned about as they approach 30 years old. It is all about A potential. B potential guys are filler. You only sign A potential dudes to those long-term contracts, because otherwise, they're not worth it. That is absolutely what we've discovered. And then in right, Alexis Alonso. Jesus, man. How the Rockies gave this guy up, I have no idea. Ender, we've had the debate about what's realistic and what's not, but it's also a video game. You got to keep that in mind. And there's different ways to showcase, hey, this guy's falling off a cliff, such as their stat line being bad, which in the case of someone like Jackson Merrill, who I was referring to, he was still playing really well. Like, really well. Alonso, 42 home runs, 120 RBIs, and a 955 OPS. Crazy. Allman hit 238 with 13 dingers as the fourth man. Did drop down to a C potential. That was the risk, playing him as a backup. Okay. So, Bonilla. We could call up Bonilla. Could call up Beckett, especially as a pinch runner. He is a lefty as well. Or it could be Acuna again. It should probably be Beckett. Yeah. Let's get Beckett Whiteley onto the playoff roster. And then for the pitchers, Josh Swanger, 82 strikeouts to 18 walks on the year. Henry Silva is 71 to 32, so a 1.24 whip. Drake was down in AAA, so I'm not too worried about him. Montez had a good season. Fitzgerald and Blanton were also down in AAA. That's right, I did have Kurowski as a reliever, but he was our closer. 55 saves on 57 attempts this year for Kurowski. Dougie Guerrero looking great. Hooper was good. Oliva, And then Mackenzie Nathan is the guy that I wanted to remove from the playoff roster. Like, this team should win, man. This team should win. And the crazy thing is, too, like, we could have made this roster even better. I have so many damn prospects because, again, if you don't limit yourself with house rules on trades, you can just abuse the AI for all their best prospects, which is the point, again, of this Cardinals run, is to see what you can and can't do, and the AI will just fucking throw it away. So there's that. Ullman up to a 90. Fantastic this year. Henley left a bit to be desired. A little bit. Dixon was great. Cairo was phenomenal. Arturo, Davies didn't get to pitch in the majors. Herrera did, though. And limited sample size, but he pitched really well. Lonnie Herrera is not eligible, though. Damn, so I guess Arturo is going to have to be the guy. We have our 26. Davies dropped to a B. Yeah. Again, that's the risk, right? That's the risk. Normally when guys are a 75, that's why I say major league roster or bust, because you can stifle their development. But this was the year I said, I don't care. Let's test it. Still happens. So again, my recommendation if you're playing this game, if someone's a 75, they either go to your major league roster or you trade them, because there's a good chance they'll regress. Very good chance that they'll regress. But this roster is ridiculous, man. This team better win. That's all I can say. This team better win.